Welcome back. Episode 84.
Good year.
Of the Jiu Jitsu Dummies Podcast. I am Milton Campus. I'm a brown belt. I'm training out of South Florida. We got Bo behind the camera.
Bo.
Michel riding
That's
shotgun.
mine. Don't take my thing.
Sorry.
You just trampled over his shit.
Shout out to Britt Tavar. She's our booking manager.
What's up,
She
Britt?
sets up all these awesome guests that we have.
Yo, Britt.
Yeah.
Joining us today is going to be 5th degree black belt. He's the owner of Carlson Gracie Miami. Carlson Gracie Ghost Squad is how people, most people know them.
Squadron. What is it?
Squadron Fantasma.
Fantasma. Good job.
Squadron Fantasma.
Joining us is going to be Professor Michel Pereira.
Pereira.
Buyu.
Okay, I get it.
Buyu.
People know him as Buyu, yes.
Correct.
All right, guys. Support for the Jiu Jitsu Dummies Podcast is brought to you by MANSCAPED. The best in men's below-the-waist grooming. MANSCAPED offers precision-engineered tools.
For the family jewels,
Yes,
baby.
yes, sir. MANSCAPED recently launched the Ultimate Men's Hygiene Bundle that's called the Performance Package. Join over 4 million men worldwide who trust MANSCAPED with this exclusive offer for our listeners. 20% off and free worldwide shipping with code
JJD20.
Yes. Okay, you can use that code at manscaped.com. We are also sponsored by Black Belt Digital Marketing. Anything you need to build your business, website design, Google Ads, graphics, logos, whatever, they can help. Check them out at Black Belt Digital Marketing on Instagram or the website bbdigitalmarketing.com. Request a free online review of your online presence. Shout out to Neutral Zone. Shout out to Neutral Zone. I told you a funny story. I was getting ready for the podcast. I went to take a little eyedropper.
Yeah.
And it didn't fill up. So I thought the bottle was empty.
The applicator, but for your mouth.
Yeah,
not for your eye.
The eyedropper.
That's not what
tincture
eyedroppers
bottle.
look like. Yeah.
And I barely got anything, so I put it in my mouth, and then I went like this, thinking I'm going to be getting just a little,
You thought the bottle was empty.
My wife called it the Baba, the Baba.
Yeah,
the Baba.
I gotcha.
And a whole bunch pours in my mouth. I'm like, oh God, there was
CBD.
Fuck.
And
I'm like, I'm not gonna spit it back in the bottle. I'm not gonna spit it out.
Gotta take
so
it.
I walked around like that for a minute, and then I drank it. I was like, whatever. I was jokingly told you before. I guess you can't overdose on CBD, or at least I didn't.
It's pretty difficult.
Well, now, what's the opposite of having too much anxiety? Not having enough anxiety.
Just
now I just don't have
floating down to Miami.
Anxiety. I need some anxiety.
Yeah.
So check them out. No matter if your aches or pains are coming from lifting weights, rolling on the mats, just
being a stud.
the daily
Clickety-clack.
grind of life, Neutral Zone has a product for you. Find your Neutral Zone by finding the best products for your pain wellness so you can continue your active lifestyle. Check them out at neutralzonecbd.com. Use code
JJD
to get 25% off.
25.
And check them out at My Neutral Zone on Instagram.
Hedge inflation.
Sean and the crew over at Flow and Roll, hands down the best custom Ghee and Nogi gear in the business.
Sean.
Don't believe us? Visit them on Instagram at flow_n_roll and check out all the custom designs they've created for academies across the country. They're even doing wrestling singlets now. You can get T-shirts,
hash guards,
stickers, rash guards,
patches,
keychains. You could, he can print anything for you. He does work outside of the MMA community and outside of jiu-jitsu, but this is his world.
You know what's a good thing about a BJJ keychain? If you valet, you get a little bit more respect. A little bit more respect. They don't move the seat. They don't move the seat.
It's funny now. I'm seeing family members. I have a brother-in-law that doesn't train, and he came over. He came over to a graduation party this weekend for my daughter, and I see him walking with the keys, and I see the Jiu Jitsu Dummies.
Nice.
And I'm like, you don't even train. Bro.
I handed a whole bunch of them out at the tournament.
Yeah.
A couple weekends
This
ago.
is how jiu-jitsu becomes popular.
Yeah,
Right?
Free stuff.
Keychain.
Yeah.
Gets on everybody's keys who's not in jiu-jitsu.
Check them out at flow_n_roll on IG. Visit the website flownroll.com. And again, use code
JJD
to get
20% off your order.
20% off your order.
That's
All
right.
And you'll find what you like because he's got all kinds of cool stuff.
Cool follow. Cool dude.
Yeah.
Super responsive.
Yeah.
I like him personally.
Oh,
And a
we
cool
didn't really
name.
get to talk about it. Like, we're, you know,
And when
he's
I
gonna
wear
be
his
doing
shirt, when I wear his shirt, some dude in the crowd always pops his head out and goes, flow and roll. I'm like, what? What? You know them? He's like, no, I'm just reading your shirt.
It is fun.
wanna
It
know what
is,
it
it is fun to say.
He's sponsoring ADCC.
Yeah. Abu
September.
Dhabi Combat, what is it, championship?
Club or championship?
Club or championship.
I think
can't
it was club in the
remember.
beginning.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, he's sponsoring, so congratulations to Sean. That's
Congratulations,
an awesome,
bro.
opportunity, great move. We've talked about
Weekend
maybe,
advance.
hey, yeah, if he goes out, if you go out there and you set up a table, hey, we'll help you work
Couple
the
of
table.
dummies in the desert.
Yeah, he's got
I
a
like the
couple
sound of it.
He might have a couple extra tickets for us. We'll see. Again,
Jiu-Jitsu
look, so Bjj Box, Jiu-Jitsu's favorite monthly subscription. It's delivered to your door, filled with premium jiu-jitsu and grappling apparel, equipment, supplements, supplies, snacks, and more. Right? They find the best products in the world of jiu-jitsu and guarantee that every box will be worth more than its cost. All right?
sure.
Each box includes between 4 and 7 items that you're going to love. Check out thebjjbox.com.
Yep.
And use code JJD10 to get
10% off your your first order.
$10.
$10 off.
Get JJD10 gets you $10
My bad.
off of your first order.
Preparation.
All right. We got some cool things happening with them. I know we've got another box that we'll have next week to do an
We got
unboxing.
the contest going on.
We've got a contest right now. We're doing a giveaway.
Yeah.
When am I supposed to be? I think I was supposed to award it yesterday.
Oh.
Well, by the time this airs,
Nice.
it'll be awarded.
We're going to have some winners,
So,
baby.
Yeah. So, and again, check them out at the BJJ Box on Instagram as well. Give them a follow.
That's right.
All right. So we talked about our sponsors. So any of our sponsors that you could purchase something online where we mentioned the coupon code.
Oh, the other contest.
Send us a receipt. This is our contest. We're going to give away $250 worth of jiu-jitsu swag. Podcast mug, podcast tee, the new rash guard. And maybe some other goodies from Flow and Roll, and maybe even some of the other sponsors might get involved.
Whatever.
Send us your receipt. Let us know that you used one of the coupon codes. Send us the receipt. We want to see the coupon code is what's important because that's how they
Redact
know
the
that
personal
that you're
information.
redact any of your credit card is the most
Yeah.
important thing to redact. Let us know that you used our coupon code by sending us the receipt, and we're going to enter you into that giveaway. That giveaway will happen once I have the rash guards, the new rash guards from Flow and Roll in hand.
So you're just collecting
yeah.
up until then, huh?
We're collecting, and I've been getting emails. I do get emails, and I do get instant
curiosity,
messages.
is there do you put a whole bunch of names to a random name generator picker?
So I have I have a picker when it's a lot of people.
I don't know how this works.
I have an app.
Yeah.
When it's a lot of people, I can upload a spreadsheet. And
You just upload a CSV file and then it just
I put them in a CSV file when
You just
when I
wanted
keep
to
track
say
of them.
CSV file. That's what.
And then I copy
Excel
them and I
file.
paste them into, and I got to fix the lines a little bit, but
Right.
I copy them from I can't upload the CSV file, but I copy everything
Okay.
and then put it into the app when there's a lot, when it's a big contest. Britt has been, she's been helping with that once in a while, so she's
Yeah.
also
So it's
she's put them
random. It's not
me.
like you just go down the line and be like, I like that name. It's not that.
No, it's absolutely random. In the beginning, it was names in a hat.
Yeah.
Then I graduated to the
We're big time now, huh?
I did a couple of giveaways where I actually recorded doing the app, I'm pressing
Yeah.
it, but it was so uneventful. It was just bink, boom, 3 names,
Yeah.
3 winners. So it was just okay, yay.
Here it
That was exciting. One of our sponsors used a kind of a wheel that spins, which is kind of cool. I just never got that app. But anyway, yeah, so we'll put, $250 worth of jiu-jitsu swag, podcast gear, all kinds of different stuff. But send us that. I'm collecting. And once we
The rash
get
guard
the rash
is
guard in
complete.
hand, when I have it done and in hand,
It's gonna be worth
then
the
we'll,
wait.
We'll pick a winner.
What's
All
going to
right?
happen after the rash guard is done? What are we going to talk about?
There's lots
what's
more
next?
coming.
Well, it's the rash guard,
Lots
shorts,
Shorts.
t-shirts,
Mm-hmm.
or he did to put a hoodie. So there's some other stuff that'll come after that Sean's going to do. So
you know what I
we'll
want.
talk about it. We just got to finish
There's
the design.
more
You know what I want out
They're
of the
waiting on
hoodie?
me. What's that?
I want the thin.
The what?
The thin
the
hoodie.
thin hoodie. Yeah. He's doing a hoodie, I think, but I'm going to ask him to do
Yeah.
the hoodie.
You need-
sweater, but
you
we
need-
haven't even gotten there
You
yet.
need one with your.
I have seen them on the layout. He sends it, the mock-ups on all different stuff, but he's got the shorts, rash guard, spats,
Mm-hmm.
and then a hoodie.
Do you need a T-shirt with the URL for your Only Anyone page?
Only anyone?
Only everyone.
Only everyone.
Talking about OnlyFans?
Yeah, but only everyone.
No, it's
All
about
right.
It's a public
different
site.
fans. You know.
Only everybody.
You lost me on the joke, but okay.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get Professor Michel in here.
The car
Let's do
veering
this.
out of
Let's do
control.
it.
Woo!
5th degree black belt, Professor Michel Pereira. Welcome, sir.
Professor. How are you?
Good, my man. Thank you guys for having me on the show. Thank you, Milton. Thank you, Miguel. Thank you, Bo. Thank you very much, guys. A pleasure.
No worries, man. Thank you for doing this. So I think I didn't know that you had moved to Colorado. Talk to us a little bit about,
Yeah.
I know you were in Miami originally. You're in Colorado now. Tell us how you got out there.
Okay. First of all, I want to say thank you to everyone that's listening to the podcast. Hopefully we can make a nice show. The reason that I moved, guys, basically, I don't like to put this out there as a needed, but since you're asking for and for everybody that listen, it was a tough decision for myself. My son is autistic. He's 11 now. He's doing fantastic so far with the past couple of years. As age at 2, we figured that he wasn't having like a speech delay. So when we take to a specialist in Fort Lauderdale, the specialist told us that his vocabulary was a little bit behind. He was in a vocabulary for 2-3 years back. Mm-hmm. So basically, whatever my son talked to me right now as an age as 11, you can picture something as a kid, as a 4-year-old, maybe a 3-year-old that can talk to, you know. 5 years in the making, due to the fact that our therapist, Christina Alvarez, mentioned to us that unfortunately, to his develop, Florida won't be the best bet. So the best bet will be, when we asking her, will be New Jersey, which is, by the way, has the #1 rating as far as like autism research. Wow. Then Philadelphia, then New York, and Colorado, right? So since I was on the East Coast, I opened the gym in 2008, and then I was on the East Coast. Me and my wife, Julie, we decided to start to travel. We decided to adventure ourselves and take my son. A lot of stimulation, a lot of hyperstimulation, New York, big city, New Jersey, big city. So we decided to take a trip to Colorado. As a matter of fact, one of my students, one of my black belts, that he's here for the past 5 years, he was a PA at the Baptist Hospital in Miami. He looked at me and said, I want to have your lifestyle. So I want to drop all my degrees. I want to be a jiu-jitsu professor. So I help him out. Fantastic guy. His name is Tom Lin Jr. So he moved to Monument, which is a city 22 miles away from where I'm at. And then he kept telling me, you got to go to Colorado. You got to go to Colorado. You got to go to Castle Rock. That's the town that I'm at right now. So long story short, fast forward, we started to take the trips, and my son definitely loved it. I have to take a meeting with my students. I have to take a meeting with my black belts. I have to take a meeting with all staff that I have at Carlson Gracie Miami, which is I proudly opened the gym, starting with the 5 students. 4 members are my partners that time, and 1 was his friends. And nowadays, you know, with the amount of students that we have, it's a big responsibility because you have people under you that depend on you, that count on you. And I cannot let those people down, you know. Business-wise was the most difficult decision in my life. I didn't expect it. I thought I'm going to pretty much retire in Miami, get in a Florida Keys, a little cabana down there, you know, invite you all the guys from Jiu Jitsu Dummies to do a podcast.
Something like that trip. That's a good trip.
But guys, I'll tell you, this breaks my heart that I have to literally like pretty much leave a teenager behind, a 15-year-old baby behind to take care of my kid, to take care of my son, you know. I have 2 other kids with my wife, but unfortunately, my son won't be able to be, I don't want to say a regular kid. We won't have that type of conversation that I have with you guys, the pleasant conversation that I'm going to have with you guys. That's the truth of the story. So he's going to have a lot of access to me and my wife for the next couple of years. Of course, the praying that I do every night is one day when he reach like an adult life, he can walk on his own, you know. But as a father of special needs, I did a lot of counseling. I did a lot of meetings. I do a lot of meetings with parents and chats on Facebook, on LinkedIn. And, the future could be bright for some of them. We have a lot of great examples in history. Messi, the Barcelona player that's now in Paris Saint-Germain, apparently he was on the spectrum. Albert Einstein apparently was on the spectrum. So it makes you get a little bit of hope, right? So, but I don't want to touch on too much on the subject because I don't want you guys thinking that I'm selling it out.
No,
I'm just
not at all.
No, it's interesting.
Why the reason that I moved. It's been a year
big deal
so far.
these days.
Well, for me, Bo, it's a big deal because, like I said, man, I did not the truth of the fact is, man, the position that I have nowadays, I can literally open up a school 5 minutes walk distance from my house, right? But when I have a conversation with Christina and my wife, and then she actually told us, look, you can do that in a heartbeat. And I know because I've been to your school, I've been to your places, I scout you out, and you're going to be successful. But how's going to be the future for your son in the next 35 years, 45 years, So talking about be a person that migrate from Brazil to United States, and then I didn't know what autism is, man. I didn't have no clue what is that. And my son opened my eyes for so many things. And just make me a better father, just make him a better person, a better professor, a person that cares much more. And I think that's probably could be one of my flaws, like caring so much for the people, because that's how I do with my son. So I treat all my students as my kids, and my sons, But long story short, it's been a year that I'm in Colorado. It's been tremendously fantastic for him. I go once in a month. I spend 1 week in Miami. Hopefully the next time I can visit you guys personally, give yourself a hug, shake your guys' hands, and preach for more and more success for you guys, more sponsorship for you guys. And hopefully you guys can reach Netflix, fantastic.
Spotify.
Let me ask you a quick question, Professor, because
Yes, sir.
okay, you moved to Colorado.
Yes, sir.
I can make the assumption that it was quieter than New York and New Jersey,
And Philly.
and for your son, it was. I guess the input was slow. How do I say that? the right way?
It's less saturated.
Yeah, it's more natural, right? Is that ultimately what made the decision?
That's the perfectly point. Let me tell you something. 45 degrees outside, people with jackets, hoodies, you name it. My son was in shorts and a t-shirt.
Really?
Short t-shirt. So that's starting to open my eyes. And trust me, I did not make that decision right after that. It took me a couple of trips to Colorado, winter, summer, spring, because I want to literally make sure I always make a decision. Mind you that I can picture whoever did that, whoever left a gym behind with 200 plus members behind and actually adventure himself to open another gym. I know stories that, I got 2 purple belts. Hey, I'm going to put you guys in the middle of nowhere. You guys open up a school. When you have 80 students, then I'm going to go there. And if I like it, I stay. That's the pattern. But I decide to not make that pattern because if I have to do something, I do myself. So I choose the path. Not that I'm saying that I'm going to drop that gym and leave it to somebody else, but if the opportunity comes to reach out and help out other people, mind you that I told you guys, I have at least 15 people that depend on what I do. And I have to be very precisely what I do things. I have to understanding how I do things. And so that way those people can get some value, and I'm trying to add value to my life and show an example to my daughter, Emma. She's 9 right now. She's totally functioning. I have another 1-year daughter like Kira. So they can understand that I did the sacrifice for the old brother, and when I'm no longer exist on the surface of planet of Earth, I'll make sure they'll be taking care of it, and whatever the hold holds for them, God bless them. But I'm going to make my part as a living person, and, hopefully that can be, I don't know, man. It's heartbreaking because I know some parents, they struggle a lot. I talk to some parents. I try to help them financially, we did have parents that came to Carlson Gracie Miami, and they told me that some gyms did not look at the kids as a inclusive them in the program, they just having them as a number, and that breaks my heart because I don't want to wish that to nobody. Imagine I have my son, man, put him to do a tennis program or a basketball program, whatever group program or a single program, and the person doesn't give it our attention. It'll break my heart. And when you have a single mom, a single parent coming up to you and say, "Oh, I have my son there," and then the professor was not looking up. So man, that breaks my heart. I was picking them up here at 3:30 in the afternoon, okay, in West Kendall, taking him to a tennis course twice a week in Granada, in Coral Gables. And then for an hour, he was doing tennis, right? Then I have to rush back to Color Bay. I was living Color Bay at that time, drop him off in home to make a time to my kids program, my baby program, and my school. So I was doing that sacrifice, because it was so hard and so difficult to find a program that people can say, no, you can bring your son here and then we're going to include them. It's just get to a point that they just want to work with some period of time. And then after that, that's it, no more. That's why I make the decision to come here, because we are going to trails. This kid, trails, my friends, I'm talking about 45-minute walk. He was the pack leader, happy, singing, he just repeat phrases, that's one of the characteristics of an autism kid on a spectrum. Sometimes they memorize lines for music from Cars or Nemo or Finding Nemo, or TV show, movie screams, and they can repeat it themselves. And he was just a happy kid, you know what I mean? So,
that's what's important.
As we're speaking right now, tomorrow is going to be our first experience to do paddleboard in a lake here. So I want to try make a record and I'll send it to you guys so you guys can have it as footage.
Have you tried jiu-jitsu with him?
I did, Milton. And since 3 months old, because that time I didn't have enough help, which is another struggle for many, many, many parents in the whole world, I believe. So I was bringing my son to the dojo as a 3-month-old, right? So since then, he saw the jiu-jitsu mats as a big playground. So I have one encounter when he was 3 years old. I put him on a gi. I have a picture. I can look it up and I send it to you guys too. So he was happy, smiling, But for him, that was just like a gigantic playground. So he never took serious. And I don't want to sound unprofessional, putting my son there, and then he distracted the class. So I was one of the parents that I had to take him to a place. That's why I told about the tennis class. Yeah. So in a reason for he doesn't bother the other kids in class, I want an actual professional. So I'll try probably close by the end of the summer to see how he maybe adapt to here, because now he's older. Maybe he has a different vision. But so far, my daughter is the one that actually doing jiu-jitsu and no pushing. I'm not. How old is she? My daughter is 9. Okay. My daughter is 9. I'm not one of those pressured parents that everybody got to do jiu-jitsu. If she wants to do dance, ballet, gymnastics, whatever, not a problem. But I told her that's how important it is, a female, especially speaking, needs to know how to defend themselves. And it could be anything. I'm not just pushing myself to jiu-jitsu. It could be karate, boxing, Muay Thai, kickboxing, MMA, whatever it is. But I think in our long time journey, whoever never step on the mats, please find yourself a place that you feel comfortable, that your heart beats, heart rate 96 BPM. And then you're kind of man, I'm excited to be here. You know what I mean?
Yeah. 100%.
You raised your hand. You have your daughter in jiu-jitsu.
It's my whole family, man. I'm trying to get my wife. Honestly, she doesn't watch the show, so I could say this. I'm going to surprise her with her taking a carry and conceal class.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
Yeah, because she's just been talking about it. I was just she carries mace. And to me, I don't feel like that's it. Plus, you got to take it out, and all that. And she has been talking more and more about just she sees the importance of it, but she just thinks she thinks jiu-jitsu is, she loves it, but it's disgusting. She hates the hair. She hates it. And she rolls only with girls.
Can I say something?
Sure.
Can I say something, Miguel?
Yeah.
So guess what? I have a student, and she's gonna hear this show. And if you want to, I can get a hold with your wife and her, and I'm not gonna get involved, right? Mm-hmm. She's from Brazil. Okay, we became really good friends. Guess what she told me the day that I invite her to be on the mats?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna mention her name. No. I'm not gonna mention her name, right?
Ew.
But she's gonna hear that show and she's gonna reach out to you guys. I said, such and such, why don't you try a jiu-jitsu class? Hell no. I don't want nobody sweat on top of me.
Yeah.
No way. I said, no, just try a class. And mind you that she's from Brazil, so I started to speak her in our native language, right?
Yep.
So I said, no, just come try it. No, hell no. All right. Years passed. She's put her 2 kids.
Yeah.
He's starting to train jiu-jitsu, like it. And then the husband, which is a Brazilian too, decides to train jiu-jitsu. Then one day she took a class. Then since this day, I take her story to every single woman that might or might not say something about, oh, jiu-jitsu is too sweaty, it's too grappling, it's too much. I said, you know what? Talk to such and such and such and such, and then she's gonna tell you.
Now I know how many syllables is in her name.
Oh, yeah.
Such
So,
and such and such.
yeah. So basically,
She's done it. My wife's done it. My wife's done it.
She did.
She's went to like several classes, and she's an honorary purple belt because she hides in the bathroom. She skips warm-ups.
Hey, I tell this is hey, you know what I say? This is a purple belt diary.
Yeah.
How can I skip the warm up in 15 ways? So I already told my wife I'm gonna make a little, those small booklets that you get like in the airport that you kind of like buy for $5.99.
Yeah.
I'm starting to write those books like blue belts, final destination. Because blue belts, they get the blue belts, that's it. I'm done for that. You know what I mean? And then you get the purple belts. The purple belt feeling is kind of like, oh, should I skip the warm up? Oh, they are doing takedown. Should I pull guard? Can I pull guard? Something like that. And the brown belts, oh man, just 2 more years. I get my black belt.
Wrist lock.
What is it about those different things? There's always some truth.
There's phases, man.
There's always some truth in those things. Professor, what do you think? Let's talk about blue belt first. Why do you think that people drop off at blue belt? Why is that a thing? And we've all seen it, so we know that it's true.
I know why. You know why? And listen, guys, look. I don't like to create things, right? I look it up numbers. I like numbers. I like
Give
facts.
me the facts.
So Miguel, Milton, what I usually do, I take by my students.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I take by notes. I take by words. I take by conversations, right? So I'm not just like, oh yeah, such a percent. Go ahead.
You're in a position to speak about this. You teach, you do it, and you teach it. Like, if there's anybody more qualified, it's you.
Well, thank you, Miguel. Yeah. I appreciate your words, man. Very kind. But like I said, I'll say this, right? So tell me, if you guys train, tell me the day that you walked to a gym, you told the professor, I want to compete. No one in my gym, everybody that walks through the door, they never mention about competition. We never mention about competition. They never say, oh, I want to compete tomorrow. I want to compete next month. I want to do MMA next month. You maybe have 1 in 100.
I said it day one.
Well, I think what he means is nobody comes in saying they want to compete.
No.
Like nobody comes in and says, I want to do jiu-jitsu because I want to compete. Like, it's something that develops later.
Yeah. Oh, they start doing it. They start doing it, and then they say, I want to compete.
Yes, because you already maybe have out of like 30 students, 1 guy that competes, or out of 30 students, 20 guys that compete, and you want to be part of that crew. You want to be part of that squad.
For sure, I feel that. Yeah.
Competition team. So I'm not saying that when you sign up at the gym, you told the professor, when is the competition? Then I can
nobody
compete.
does
No,
that.
you just want to learn what is jiu-jitsu, right? Mm-hmm. So as that journey starts, you're starting to come to class, you're starting to feel comfortable, you're starting to understand the game. And let me tell you guys, jiu-jitsu is a very complex match, right? It's a complex, it's a complicated for a mom, or I won't say a dad, because we do what we want to, but moms have other different moms in another atmosphere, bro. They have to think about how to pay the bills, how to feed the kids, what I'm gonna do for dinner, what we're gonna do for the weekend. And then they're gonna put jiu-jitsu, and then, oh man, how I do a bump and roll, how I get out of the guard, how I can You know what I mean? So it's a complex fight. So then as a guy that's starting to see, oh, this is easy. I can do that every day, all day. But then he's starting to see the hurdles that the jiu-jitsu comes. Oh, I need to buy tape because my fingers are starting to get crooked up. Oh, I need to buy some sort of a CBD. And I know you guys have some sponsor. You guys should, send it to all of them. I see that. I see that.
Neutral zone, baby.
See, I'm already hooked up you guys.
I've had a headache, so I've been putting it on, and it's
So
amazing.
somebody did a neck choke on me, and they kind of like cranked my neck. Then as he training for a year and 2 months, a year and 5 months, maybe 2 years, the guy that comes on, he got a blue belt. And then he tells me, man, that's it. I don't want to do that anymore because I got my blue belt, and I reached to that. I reached to the 10th floor, and I don't want to go to the number 11th floor. But then here it comes like the psychological aspect. Okay, you got your blue belt, you trained for a year and a half, but let me give you some examples, right? How about the guy that's 75 years old that just started and is he happy as hell to come in every day? How many injuries that guy have in motocross, biking, skateboarding? You know what I mean? So he's still coming. So what makes you stop? Oh, because now I need to put more extra work. No, it's same thing every day. Every day, same thing. Yeah. So you just keep showing up. Your professor will be able to qualify you to train with certain people that's going to take care of you. And then you're going to have the longevity of a sport. But some people get frightening because now they see going to places that's kind of like a challenging, looks like every day is a fight. Last call for the World Masters Championship. In the left side, blue belt that just got awarded, and the purple belt that's hungry to get your neck. I mean, it can be like that. That's why people quit, because they know they have something to prove. The moment that you got your blue belt and you put in your mind that I don't have nothing to prove, all I got to prove myself is I can keep coming. I can be injury free. And if I want to compete, I compete. If I want to train for fun, I train for fun. If I want to be selected, I do. If I'm not, I just do myself, and when I get back home, nothing changed, because now I cannot tap for the white belt 4 stripes. Dude, check it out. Let me ask you a question, guys. So when you guys are training, right? If you guys training, striking, whatever, if you get hit, if you get arm bar, does your light bill goes down?
No.
Does your insurance goes down?
No.
Oh, so FPL, do you think the FPL is going to say, oh, I give you a break because you didn't tap tonight? I said, dude, it doesn't matter, man. Just have fun. So blue belts that are going to get promoted, or blue belts that just got promoted in the summer, or you may be a potentially blue belt to get promoted in December. Guys, just keep coming. Just keep coming training. And I directly that conversation for them, because those are the people that just actually is going to make it or break it. Because once they get you a blue belt, they're going to say, man, that's it. Done. No, it's not done. Just keep coming. Oh, but the purple belt on the corner, he wants to chop my head off. Hey, you know what? If he goes too hard, just tap.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
I want to ask. I want everybody's input on this.
Yeah, except Bo.
So, except for Bo, who doesn't train.
You don't train. Bo.
Okay, so, and I just thought of this while we're talking about this. So, do you think that sometimes people make it to blue belt because, for a couple of reasons, I'm going to start with, I'm a white belt, and I don't want to quit a white. I want to at least get there, and I got to the blue belt, and whatever.
I know enough.
They start not that they know enough, but it's like almost embarrassment to like, well, I'm not going to quit at white belt. I can't tell that girl I'm trying to pick up at a bar that I didn't make it. Like, I trained jiu-jitsu. Yeah, I got to blue belt, but then I stopped. It's like I got to white belt and then I stopped.
You can't quit at purple belt.
That's the meme. That's the meme before we see it.
Yeah, I really believe that there's a little bit of that psychology where somebody might not truly love it. Like, you walked in and I knew you were a lifer.
Yeah.
You knew you were a lifer, but I knew it right away when I saw you train and staying after class and asking for the hardest rolls. Like, you rolled with everybody. I saw it. You could see that just from that day that when you first came to the gym.
I'm good at getting beat up.
To now. But I think there's sometimes you see guys that they come in, a couple of times a month, and they take years way past what they should to get but they get the blue belt and then really stop.
You got to give it to Felipe. Jiu-jitsu reserves is probably one of the best lines I've ever heard in my life.
Our professor calls those people that don't come in
Jiu-jitsu reserves.
They're in the jiu-jitsu reserves.
One time
a week. Already got the
military reserves.
Yeah.
The military reserve,
once a month.
So do you agree or disagree with that statement that it's a little bit of I don't want to be embarrassed and say I quit at white belt, but I'll make it to blue, and then that's when I'll stop. No?
I think what I can, I'll say this, right? Now I talking about facts. I never had a blue belt that actually quit after he got a blue belt. Okay. I have people that might be sporadically starting to get life a little busier, and they might be not coming quite often, right? And I'm talking about mid-age guys, younger guys, man. As soon as they get the blue belt, they're going to be there on Monday. If the belt ceremony is a Saturday or Sunday, bro, Monday, they're going to be there. If possible, the first class in the morning, you know what I mean? But the mid-age people, 30, 35, 40, 45 years old, like sometimes things can get on the way, and they're going to show up on Monday, heartbeat. They're going to look in the parking lot. Oh, man. That guy's a purple belt. That guy's car is a black belt. Oh man, should I go back at home? I'm seriously, I have a black belt that as he was a purple belt, I think. He has a big AC company. Once again, I'm not going to mention his name in there. I'm going to mention all the names in their end. I'm not taking my notes here.
That's okay. We're going to give you some shout out time.
Professor, what's the name of the girl?
How many so-and-sos for the AC guys? So-and-so and so-and-so.
Just two. So. Okay. So I'm taking my notes here. The girl and the AC guy. So he told me one time, Professor, I was like looking the parking lot and I see cars and with the sticker and I see, A is here, B is here, C is here, X is here, Y is here, Z is here. I think I'm gonna back home. And I said, no, you should keep coming because that's improvement. He's still training until this day. 3 kids, very successful AC company, Miami guy. And he's still training nowadays. Right now in the summer, he's pretty packed. But after the summer season passed, bro, he's there every single day in the morning, And the guy has 4 screws on his back. 4 screws. Oh, wow. And he's still training, okay? So blue belts out there, if you get promoted, go back to the gym next day, talk to the professor. Professor, look, if you can't take care of me the next couple of 6 months. I would like to keep my life completely of jiu-jitsu. I don't want to quit. But for a person that's kind of like mid-age, it's a bigger the deal because you might have the youngsters, purple belts, drilling to see, this guy got a blue belt. Okay. All right. I'll go after him.
This lock season, baby.
Yeah, it's a hurting season. So I don't think that could be a thing, for people that actually don't put too much pressure on the shoulders. Just keep coming to class, relax.
I'll admit I've never left when I've pulled up, but I've definitely pulled up at my gym, and then like some visiting brown belt or black belt that I know is tough. Like we do Saturday, Sunday at our gym, at my gym is always open mat. So I've showed up and I've been like, oh, fuck, this is going to be a rough day. Oh, shit.
My pinky hurts. Yeah. My pinky hurts. Let me go back home.
I got my brand new rash guard in. I think I'm going to fucking go in there and get some good rolls in. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm about to be the nail.
Yeah. So right now, for me specifically, I'm in I'm in a jiu-jitsu rut right now. Right now, I don't feel like I could do anything to anybody. My guard is trash. My passing's trash. I can't. Have you
changed your game plan, Miguel? By the way, did you used to play bottom or used to play top?
I'm focusing on being on bottom more.
On bottom.
Right
okay.
Let me throw this. Are you focusing on bottom because you're trying to get more of the leg game in? Because you're focusing on leg game?
No, I just think that me being on top is I'm not gonna say my pressure passing is good, but I'm just saying that I feel confident in dealing with somebody's guard, even if they get super complicated with me with De La Hiva, or if they get super complicated with me with X, the reverse X. They try and just go straight into Ashi from there, whatever. I'm cool. I feel okay with that. I'm even okay getting, swept or taken down with even a dummy sweep or anything like that because now I'm on bottom. And that's what I kind of want to work on is I'm here, accept the sweep.
So why do you think that your jiu-jitsu is trash?
I think mentally, not my jiu-jitsu life, the things that get in the way. Yeah. I'm pretty busy right now.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, I don't know, it just feels like my jiu-jitsu confidence is very low. And, But
I know, what Professor was asking, what changed? What changed between that, now and when it wasn't like that?
Really,
what was it?
Yeah, because you said that before you used to play on top, right? And now you play on the bottom. Now, my question for you is that what are you working? Let's say today's Thursday, right?
I don't think I have a game plan. That's my problem.
Well, I think you should start it like, first of all, close your guard, right? Once you close your guard, what are the 3 things that I can do from close guard? First, defend myself. Defend myself means don't let the person pass. Second, how can I attack that person but baiting him? Not like grabbing the arm, hey, dude, I'm getting your arm bar. You know what I mean? But kind of like baiting him. Third, have a sweep on your game. So if you apply those 3 things and condense in a 2 weeks program, I'm pretty sure you're going to be solid. Then your confidence is going to go back. Same as a pass. Maybe you got a guy that go for the ashi, and then you're kind of like, oh man, I let the ashi happen. 1 second before, you have to be prepared for that. Or you see the guy putting the de la riva, and it's kind of like you're watching the movie, and then you say, oh, I'm going to act it now. But now 3, 4, 5 chapters pass, 3/4 of the movie pass, and you're going to act. I think what's happening probably in your game, you being let the game being so much advanced and you're being delayed in catch up.
I feel that. But what I'm saying is, it's like I'm in a jiu-jitsu rep, but like when I go to jiu-jitsu and the class is over, or I've gone to open mats to other gyms. I competed recently. It's just, I feel great afterwards. It's just like my game confidence is low, and you question your game. So,
correct.
So, but what I'm saying is like, I'm still happy doing jiu-jitsu. And then I also just tell myself, like, bro, you're getting beat up, but just have fun. And also just maybe try something new, or like stick to a game plan. Or
I was about to say that too.
I'm having fun. I'm not discouraged.
You see,
I'll defer to...
If you push back our conversation for 15 minutes ago, what I just said, just go to have fun, man.
Yes.
Take your rocks off your shoulder. And then as you have fun, as you're starting to don't put that pressure, guess what?
I play better.
All right, everybody. Sweaty Sack Summer
I'm feeling it.
is here. And it's time for you to prioritize the comfort of your crotch. That's why the kings of crotch comfort at where?
At Manscaped.
Manscaped. Have spent 2 years designing the most comfortable boxer briefs out there.
They're comfy.
I've had the honor of testing out these new boxers. We both have. All 3 of us have, actually.
I love them.
I love them. They're great. I actually use them to train. Like, they're nice boxer briefs.
I've done it once or twice.
Yeah. So we've all had the honor of trying these out. I think we can all say it's like the softest fabric. It's hard to say that 5 times fast. It's definitely different than regular, like just a cotton boxer brief. It's got like that little, I don't want to call it silk, but like it's like a silky kind of feel to it.
Felt almost.
Not felt. Felt? No.
Yeah,
I'm thinking like shine, like a little bit, like a kind of a spandex. And for me, it's more of like a sporty boxer brief.
So it's like an old feeling.
Maybe it has that in there. We don't even know.
I don't know what it's made out of, but it feels like somebody that's not very strong is giving me a hug.
I think it's definitely like the softest fabric that I've had in like my boxer brief game. It's so breathable that it's like gills for your groin. I didn't write this.
I got it. Boy, dude, Manscaped loves alliteration.
They even trademarked the jewel pouch. So you know it's serious.
Yeah.
All right. I think it's time for you to invest in your family jewels. So let your bulge breathe and get 20% off and free shipping by using code
JJD20
at manscaped.com.
That's right.
Oh, we keep on putting it off, Bo. I know you wanted to tell us about your experience, right? We all got, so that people that don't listen to us all the time, we all got the performance package. So we've got a couple like lotions, a spray. We got the lawnmower. We got the weed whacker.
We got the
a
boxers.
Bag, boxers.
And then you guys don't get it, but we got T-shirts.
And we got the newspaper that you can use to do your thing.
I read it.
And then it goes down on the floor, and then you take the newspaper and you throw it out.
Yep.
You read it? There's a whole bunch of them, and they're the same. So it's like, you read one, use one. Mm-hmm. But Bo, go ahead. Tell us about your experience. What did you think?
Awkward.
Thank you.
No. So, small confession is that I have had a lawnmower 3.0 for the last 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And definitely wouldn't lick that one. That one has been places.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's going to lick it.
That's been places.
People don't lick razor blades.
It's gone off-road?
It's gone off-road. Yes, it has. Big wheels and everything. So I had this comparison. So I just tried this one, and I used it on my face. I use it mostly on my face. I haven't shaved now.
I mean, we do tell you a lot
of
of times that your face looks like a ball sack, so, I mean, it makes sense.
It's appropriate. Yeah. It's the same feel, you know. My eyeball gets caught. But I use it on my face, and I tried this new one. And, you know, design-wise, it's like a little stealth fighter. It's got angles instead of more rounded like the old one.
Yeah.
But I immediately noticed that this one's like twice as heavy.
Okay.
So either there's more battery or more motor or more both.
Yeah.
And we immediately turned it on. Now, after 2 years, the other one, it's falling off. It's falling off in performance. A little head. I think I need to get the new blade, you know, because it's been, and those blades pop right off.
Oh, yeah, probably. Right. Yeah, you should be able, I think you're supposed to be changing the blade at like set intervals.
Yeah, I don't
know about the 3. This is my first one. So
same, yeah.
I tend to.
For my first MANSCAPED.
Like, I can't own an airplane because I don't fix it until it crashes, you know, so. So I turn this one on and I go to shave and stuff. I immediately feel it's also stronger when it vibrates, like when it's on.
And Bo knows vibrators.
And I know vibrators. So, dude, I will say this. As soon as I started mowing the chin, immediately I noticed the difference. So I don't know if it's also going faster.
I mean, it's brand new.
But it's
the
strong.
New one, and it's their new version.
Even the old one, when it was brand new, when I ran into like the hairs bunch up, and it actually clogs the blade. And it'll stop, or it'll like slow down, or you'll hear it go like it wants to.
The bog.
Right, the bog. And
I won't make a comparison, but
it was, and this did not bog.
Yeah,
this mowed right through that. Now, of course, I'm going to give it.
Didn't you use it on your face first? You did the same thing.
No,
was that a joke?
No, it wasn't a joke.
You shaved your head?
No.
What did you shave?
Pretty much my whole body.
Oh, okay. Right. So you did more than just.
I went from bottom to top. Yeah. Okay. I said.
You went from bottom to top. You went in the canyons.
Yeah.
But go ahead, Bo. I'm sorry.
Mine's well
traveled. You. Go ahead.
So that was immediately what I noticed, that the performance on this one compared to the 3.0 is like light years difference. Mm-hmm. They did an incredible job updating this thing.
Which is a good comparison because we're going on it. We're first time users.
Yeah,
now you're giving it to maybe the guys who have the 3.0 and they're like, it still works okay for me.
Experience. Yeah, and I've already tried the weed whacker, which worked tremendously.
Twice a week at least. I use that. Love
you grow fast, bro.
Yeah, I got my. You know what? I got grays coming out of here now, so they could really see them. You know,
the spikes.
So I got to get him. I got to get the guy in the front, and it's not good to pull.
That's old dog.
You don't want to
whiskers.
pull. You get ingrown hairs in your nose.
That's old dog whiskers. They, start to look like those old dogs with those long.
Yeah, I hope
whiskers.
that day never comes where it's just like,
but they're not
totally
whiskers.
Just flows into the beard.
And now with MANSCAPED, you're set.
Yeah. No, I legit. I mean, I use it all the time. It's like it's the one. It's the piece out of this that I'm using the most.
I spritz the most.
Yeah, so.
I'm a spritzer.
Go ahead, Bo.
No, so that's pretty much it. Now I have to. I did use it on my eyebrows too. I put the guard on it. Went right for my eyebrows. I thought it was going to be too short, but
always go with the grain just in case it goes too short.
Like I go against the grain.
I know, but if you don't know how short it's going to be,
I did it anyway. I was like, I'm either going to look like a freak.
You go away from the grain, and then if it's too much, then just go up.
Yeah, no, I went directly. I went directly against the grain. I was like, if I look like an idiot, I look like an idiot. But it worked out perfectly. It actually came out
the way
really
you
good.
grow hair. I mean, you grow hair.
It does, and I'm getting those old man curly things that pop out of my face, like these strange hairs that grow.
MANSCAPED.
There's a bunch of normal hairs and then these strange ones that come out. So I'm thoroughly pleased with this. Like I told you last time, I'm extremely pleased.
Yeah, so we have some new stuff coming. I checked the mail before I came down today. We didn't get the delivery yet. We've got a whole bunch of new stuff coming from MANSCAPED, so that's really cool. We'll get to talk about that or unbox it here.
Well, we got to unbox it.
What's coming now?
I know there's like boxers, the new boxers. So those are coming. God, I forget. I think there's some new T-shirts.
May have to do.
And I don't know. I forget what product. I don't know what other product is coming, but I know it's like boxers and.
I think I'll have to do an Instagram, like
We both have
brand
the Manscaped on today.
Brand
Yeah,
ambassador.
you both do.
With
What
my
is it,
junk.
what does it say? What does it say on the back? Read what it says.
It says Manscaped, your balls will thank you.
Yeah.
And in Spanish, that is Manscaped, tus pelotas te van a agradecer.
When I came home with this, the first time I wore it on the show,
Yeah.
I stopped at like Whole Foods.
Yeah.
I think when I did it, I think it was a Saturday. Was it a Saturday show? So I think I went home during the day and I stopped at the store. And when I got home, I didn't realize. I'm not even thinking
about it. Yeah.
I'm wearing it, whatever. But when I got home, my wife read it. She's like, "You went to the store like that?"
I do.
And I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "It's not a big deal." But she,
I totally do it, man. I go to Publix, I go to Whole Foods, I went to.
Well, listen,
that's my jiu-jitsu. That's my jiu-jitsu after jiu-jitsu shirt.
Yeah.
And I'm in the locker room, and then like the first time I wore it, everybody like said something or was laughing, and I was like, "What's going on?" It was like, "Bro, your shirt, that's awesome." It's actually I don't get bad. I got to
tell you about my first T-shirt site. The first T-shirt site I had was all nasty curses on.
Yeah.
Like biker style, like T-shirt, all black, white writing.
I used to
over the top, like it was horrible.
I used to
I'd be embarrassed to wear any of those shirts.
No.
In high school, like my mom dressed me, but then like I got a job, and I would buy shirts and I would put them in my book bag, and then like my mom would dress me. Like I mean, even like through high school, bro. Like, and I was like, all right, that's my mom.
So you would bring like,
so I would bring extra clothes, and I would change like in the like the bus stop, but like I was such a jit, bro. Like I would like shop at like Hot Topic or like stores like that. So like all my shirts were offensive.
Let's let everybody know. Let's give them the code again. Get 20% off plus free shipping with code JJD20 at manscaped.com. Remember, that's 20% off and free shipping with code JJD at manscaped.com.
Anywhere in the world.
Anywhere.
Once the Boxers 2.0 touch your sack, they'll never go back.
Bam. These guys are poets and they didn't even know it.
Let's get back to the show, everybody.
So I'm controlled by my sack, right?
They rhyme all the time.
All right. Let's do this.
Milton, you said something that reminds me, when a black belt showed up, I'm a brown belt, and somebody visiting. It's not a challenging. It's actually time to see what I can do better when I finish training with this guy, because he might be past my guard. He might be took my back. And is my cardio is better or no? Is my perception are better? Is my flexibility are better? So now I'm talking about the other aspects of jiu-jitsu. I'm not talking about the technical part of jiu-jitsu, because remember, it's technical,
physical,
it's mental, and physical, right? Mm-hmm. So if you put all those three things together, guess what? You're gonna so relaxed when you train that injury is gonna be free.
Mm-hmm.
Pressure, because that lower belt rack the crap out of you.
Yeah.
And then not only that, now mentally you're gonna say, man, I think my jiu-jitsu is not a plateau. And that's the thing. I have a couple of years back, I have a student that he came up to me and he said, "Professor, my jiu-jitsu reached a plateau. Like I can't evolve. And I knew why, but I don't want to say. I'm not gonna listen. If you are my student, I'm not gonna tell you like, hey, listen, stop in doing this 3 times, right? I warn you, like same as IBJJF, right? First you get a warn, then you get an advantage, then you get a penalty, then you get a DQ. So I told him that time, I said, listen, the problem is I come to teach a class, but then I show you the program, I show the curriculum of the week, and then always after class, you get together with the 2 other guys that you guys want to do the highlight. I call the highlight things, right? And then you get confused, It's kind of like I'm trying to put a puzzle together for you for the whole week, program everybody to, even though everybody's going to do the same, but guess what? Most likely other people, if they skip 2-3 classes, they forget about what you teach Monday. If they skip the whole week, they're going to forget about what you teach Monday. If you skip the whole month, they're going to be lost when they come back. So you still get that advantage if you are a regular. If you are coming regular, you can massively have the moves in your brain, like muscle memory, right? So guess what happened? And I told him point blank, I said, my brother, listen, okay, such and such and such, listen, stop in 2, four. Stop. Instead,
4 suches.
Yes, 4 suches. Instead you do the highlight things, which is, I don't condemn. I think jiu-jitsu is going to evolve so much.
It's growing right now.
I don't see MMA growing more than that. MMA is going to be like that. Okay, it's my opinion, my perception, what I see on the game nowadays. I try, even from far away, I watched all the videos, like they send it to me for tournaments, even in small tournaments. I like to watch little small tournaments. I like to watch. But as far as comparison, like jiu-jitsu is going to grow, right? And if you stick to jiu-jitsu, you're going to grow much more. If you stay with MMA, you're probably going to reach a plateau because there's not much. But I come back from that blue belt that back then, he wants to do what the highlight was after class and starting to drill what I just taught. And then the other students are getting better than him and he reach a plateau. So when you go back to the gym, Miguel, thinking about those three things, okay, I'm going to start in my guard, right? Close guard. I only going to open my guard if I have something to do it. I'm not just going to open my guard to starting to play spider guard because I'm not familiar too much or my knee. Be patient. Exactly. Try to approach that person to your game. Impose your rhythm of the fight. Yeah. Don't let that person impose his rhythm. And because guess what? If you're starting to open your guard, stand up on your knees, whatever, and he keeps that pressure, he knows he needs to get you on your side. And if you don't have an attack next to that coming, he's going to get you. He's going to pass your guard. So that's pretty much like my 2 cents for don't feel that, man, I am like in this limbo, kind of like, it's almost like a twilight zone, what am I in here?
Purgatory.
Yeah, take some notes.
So in all, I just want to say, even with all that being said, I was like indirectly answering your question is like, what is it about blue belts that quit? I feel that a lot of it is they can't, you said the three things, one of them being mental, is they can't take the mental roller coaster of just having, I'm in a rut right now, and I'm aware that I'm in a rut, and I've professionally been in ruts before. I've been in relationships where I've been in ruts before. So like, I understand what's happening. So the only thing that I really focus on, Professor, is that when I go there, even though sometimes I don't want to be there, and I go anyways, when I leave, I feel great.
Yeah,
and
I'm so happy you came.
And I'm happy, and I had fun, and like the music sounds better, when I go home, and I'm in a great mood when I go home.
I think I'll say
so it's like that's what keeps me in the game.
A couple of things that I've done when I was in ruts, over the years of training. Sometimes I'll go. I told you, like I'll watch videos before I go, and then I'll pick out something that I'm going to work on. Besides whatever the professors like, when I know that we're going to be rolling, focusing on the rolling part, I'm going to try to get that thing, and it gives me a goal. Now,
I do that.
More than half of the time, it doesn't work out.
Yeah,
I don't even get close to the thing. But because I have my mind focused on something, not the class, and am I doing the drill, and who's there, I have now gone there and I'm focused, and that's how I did that with the North-South, and it became my thing. I do that with Felipe's lockdown, and that's kind of my thing.
Yeah.
I whatever. I'm going to see how many times I can get this thing. And again, more than half of the time, it doesn't ever work out. But because I made my mind think of the goal, and not everything that's happening in the day that's worked for me.
You got the blinders on.
It gives me like a purpose.
I got a professor question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because check this out.
Yeah.
So, let's say you teach butterfly sweeps for a week or whatever.
Correct.
That's the move of the day.
Correct.
Okay. So this is like kind of what I like to do, because like it's so hard to like hit the butterfly sweep when it's the move of the day, because everybody knows everybody's focusing and they're hyper focused on the butterfly sweep. And I already had an idea on how to teach a move of the day, but teach 2 move of the days, but split the class, but don't let them watch each other. So that way they know this and they know this, but you don't know what they're teaching. You teach silently, but that's another story. But what I'm saying is like, do you notice when students do the move of the day from last week, the next week? Because that's been like my cheat code. Like if I learn a butterfly sweep, I hit it the next week. I don't hit it because everybody else forgets about it.
Okay, I see what you mean.
So like, but do you notice students like
you go like this? I'm going to take this out of my bag.
Yeah. I'm always a week behind on move of the day.
Well, to be honest, that's the professor's duty. That's how you evaluate your students. If they're absorbing the technique, if they're applying the technique, and if they remember the technique. 3 things again: put it together, put it in your pocket. So that way, write your notes, and then you can see, well, wait a minute, this guy only knows one sweep, and that's he's been doing for the whole entire month. That doesn't mean he doesn't know the rest of it. that means like he really want to hit that sweep. Some people hit in 2 weeks, some people hit at the day. But like I said, coming back for facts, right? Did you sleep well last night? When you go to train, did you pretty much like rested? So if your mind is rested, yes, you're definitely going to remember the moves from the last week. And I'm pretty sure if your professor is watching your class, if he's aware of everybody was doing it, and mind you, you might be going to roll, I'll say like 5 times, 4 times in a good day, maybe in a great day, 6 times. Definitely your professor will watch your performance or everybody's performance. And then he will see that who actually needs to be promoted, right? Yeah. So that's why coming back from that situation, yes, it could be difficult for the whole entire class hit the butterfly sweep that day. Can be possible, yes, but maybe you want to, let me hold this back a little bit. Let me wait, everybody forget. And then in 2 weeks, I hit it back again. And then you're going to have a little groupie round coming next to you. Hey, Michel, how did you do that butterfly? Because I tried many times and it didn't work. What I tried to do in the training, and I see you doing it. Man, you're doing great. Now your confidence of that position getting a boost, you know? Yes, it could be difficult for a regular day. Everybody do the sweep.
It's so hard to hit the move of the day on the day.
It is probably necessary if you do have beginners, intermediate, and advanced group to be separated. So that way they can work in a specific position that professor, if he's leading the class, wants to. Okay, white belts, you guys going to work on this butterfly sweep. But the color belts, you guys are going to work in this butterfly sweep, but I'm going to give a little pinch of salt, a little pinch of pepper for you guys. Salt and pepper, correct. So that way, they might be going to hit the sweep on you and you on them, but everybody's going to have a different perspective. You know what I'm saying? Yes, definitely answer your question. It could be difficult for you hit the sweep at the day if everybody wants to do the same thing,
Do you also have is there like a communication network with all the black belts, maybe from like neighboring schools that you guys like get together and brainstorm on how to be better professors, or is that like an ego thing between because I always wonder that your world is so different than my world. I'm a paying customer. I go to this place. If I don't like if I don't like anything, I'm just like, fuck this, I'm out. Because
you're right. Whatever, but you don't want to be there.
And you're especially you saying how caring you are, and I don't know you, but I could just from our interaction, I could tell that you really do care. Do you see sometimes the ego gets in the way of a professor maybe reaching out for help to another professor, or is the community more like, hey, I've reached this teaching plateau, because not only are you a jiu-jitsu black belt, but you're also now an instructor. So now that's a whole different world, so
correct.
How do you handle that?
I'll tell you this, Miguel, point blank, right? In Brazil, we already have that. In Brazil, when my professors, Rodrigo Medeiros and Francisco Toco Albuquerque, just purple belts starting to teach, I have Renato Tavares coming to my school, Soneca, Hélio Moreira Soneca coming to my school. I have all the Carlson Gracie black belts coming to my, not black belts, but that time they were purple belts, brown belts, some of them brand new black belts. They're coming to my school, and we already see that sharingness of techniques, not a seminar. They just boom, pop out of nowhere, and then boom, they're right there. Because the fact is, nobody, only maybe, I'll say, God bless his soul, Carlos Gracie, maybe he has that vision what a jiu-jitsu will be nowadays, because he was a visionary, right? But me, myself, I did not expect it to be here today as a present time talking to a podcast with you guys, having the opportunity to show how much I do care for that sport. Yes, I do make friends. I make a lot of friends that we see each other every weekend, and they're here already in the United States. Yeah, we do change information, and we do talk about techniques. From my side, I don't have no ego. From my side, I talk to everybody. From my side, I respect everybody, and I try to be the icebreaker. I try, hey, professor, nice to meet you. Hey, listen, I saw you showing a technique, and How did you be able to achieve? I don't know if it's because I come from an old school mentality that everybody, get together after training. We used to call resenha, which is basically like a pep talk. Like the resenha could be translate like after the class is over, everybody sit on the mats, talk about a lot of things, share ideas and stuff like that in a very relaxing way, right? So we already have that in Brazil. So when I move here and then I see the migration of my friends coming from Brazil or coming from other parts of the US, coming to specifically Florida, because there has the similarity of the weather in Brazil, in Rio de Janeiro, which is most likely all those people come from. Yeah, maybe you reached out for someone that came from São Paulo, came from Brasilia. But in the end of the day, the jiu-jitsu community is so small and we kind of like, we know each other. If we don't know each other, we know his professor, And I usually has like professors that they send me techniques, black belts that send me techniques. And if I see something that's very approachable, yeah, I do talk to my black belt, say, you know what? What do you guys think about this technique? Professor Milton sent me this video and maybe could be used.
Sounds nice.
I already throw the jinx. You see how I am, right? I already throw my jinx, right? So I hopefully.
Do you know Professor Milton, or you said that you're saying that with my name, or do you know Professor Milton?
There's no.
No, I just said Professor Milton.
It's the first one.
Because I briefly heard you say you're a brown belt, so I mean,
new brown belt.
Yeah,
that's okay. We get it.
And just to like add on top of that, I meant more like not techniques, but teaching how to teach.
Mm-hmm.
Like professors, like, hey, I noticed that the classes are more receptive when you do this. Not like jujitsu, but like, you know what I mean? Like
deliver it in a certain way. How
do you guys get together on like how to teach, or even take like curriculums, not about moves, but just like I structure it this way, or like, is that like a thing too between professors?
Yeah, I have a really good friend of mine. We used to be teammates. Now he's in Canada. Rafael Laporta. I would say monthly we always chat, and he's now with the grappling fighting team. He's in another association, but we share ideas because before everything we are friends, and I think that's the beauty of growth. Like you be able to share curriculums and see what works, what's not, and how to reach more students, how to be able to understanding that what it was a passion in the past in the 90s, now is a business. And you have to treat it as a business because like you said, Miguel, if I don't like that place, F that, bro, I'm get out of here. I'm going to go to another place. So then you cannot say, oh, this guy's a mofo. You know what I mean? Like, no, you got to look into yourself and say, what was my mistake that I couldn't hold that guy here?
Yeah.
Was my teaching, was my voice, was because my wife didn't kiss me last night and I came so angry, or whatever the heck it is, you know what I mean? So I think in the end of the day, you as a professor, if you have the opportunity to just share knowledge, share what you, because especially if the business is going to be not effective, because everyone nowadays, they want to be, right? Everybody wants to be, I want to be such and such, I want to be such and such. No, just be you, man. Just be you. Be with transparency with your students. The mats don't lie, and that's true. If you don't train, there's somebody that trained more than you. And like Milton said, the guy's going to knock on your door. Oh, I'm a black belt from such a country. Oh, really? And you cannot say, oh, let me go to the bathroom and stay on the bathroom like for 2 hours. You got to go back to the mats.
Yeah, Kate.
You got to train, especially if you're the higher belt. If you're the higher belt on that day, my friend, guess what? Your card is going to pick to the roof.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good to hear. And I think you're going to get, everybody's gym is going to be different, and that's why there's so many different gyms.
Correct.
And if you're true to yourself and you're true to your students, then you're going to build a community that's like-minded. So you're going to end up having.
You're doing something right.
Yeah,
with 200 students in Miami, is that what you said? 200 students.
I'm just going to put that number there because I don't like to talking about numbers. I leave this to my wife because she's the one that managed. It's just like.
I was going to say you're doing something right.
You're doing something right. You got that
you're
many.
You're doing something right if you have that many students.
Yeah, let me put it this way, right? I don't want to, because look, this is the first encounter that we have. Yes, you guys probably didn't go on Google because I'm not in a Google, but you probably guys.
Oh, I found you.
You guys probably talk to people that know me. I don't like to brag. I know there's professors that like to brag, but I don't like to brag that my school is this, my school is made for this, my school is going to be like that. I don't like it because guess what? We never know the day of tomorrow, right? Mm-hmm. Tomorrow is a blessing. Be grateful. So I just put a 200 there as a number because, yes, the facility that we have several classes. We do have people that I do have like a representative for the Dade County that he comes like once in 15 days because he's always in Tallahassee with all the politicians, and he comes and train when he can. So I included him in the number. Yeah. So I do have those people doctors that might be work like overnight shifts and they can only train on the Saturdays. I do have
those count. They count.
Yeah, they count.
We're not focused on the number. We're focused on like you've built a community.
You definitely you're doing something right with the philosophies and the things that you're saying.
Correct, Milton. I'm not gonna be like, I have such a no, bro. I'll tell you the truth, which is yes, I do have 200 and plus, but I'll stay like that. And whatever the days that you guys gonna go, and you guys can go and see for yourselves. I'm not gonna be here like and putting the flag up, but yes, I do care for what I do. It's been 30 years in the making. As a matter of fact, I did 30 years of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu on June 9 when I started my Jiu-Jitsu class. Thank you, sir. I started at June 9, 1992, 3:30 p.m. It was me plus 5 other white belts. Those 5, only 3 of us stick to Jiu-Jitsu until this day. The inauguration class, let's say the founding fathers of Nova Geração in Brazil. So I was the white belt that didn't quit, man. So why a blue belt should quit, right?
Yeah.
No way, Jose.
And you can't quit at purple belt because purple doesn't sound cooler than blue. Brown sounds okay.
You know what I'd really like to hear about? We were going to talk about.
Can I just point that out,
Sure,
Milton?
sure.
Just to finish it up. That's my favorite color, man. To be honest with you, purple. To be honest,
it's got blue and red.
Yeah, now you know. That's the reason people asking me, hey, what's your favorite color of all belts? And I usually say purple. And they ask me, but why purple, not black? I said, well, because purple, you are in the middle of the way of the journey. And that's going to show if you're going to break it or if you're going to take it.
Yeah. You're a teenager.
Yeah. You're a teenager.
Go ahead, Milton.
Tell us about Ghost Squad. Tell us a little bit about your school. How did you come to be a Carlos Gracie affiliate? But I'm really interested on where Ghost Squad came from. Yeah.
So basically, I would say when Toco and Rodrigo gave me the opportunity to teach a Nova Geração, I was a blue belt, and that's another point that I want to mention. You guys today are so lucky. You guys don't have no idea. Today, you open in your news feed, bro, you can have like 500 moves a day in jiu-jitsu, right?
Easy.
My time, bro, we didn't have YouTube, we didn't have WhatsApp, we didn't have none of that. Guess what? You go to a tournament, the guy's going to record on a VHS, the little big cassette film. You're going to see your fight 3 months after. God bless his soul. His name is Paquetá. He was one of the black belts from Carlson Gracie Sr. God bless his soul either. But anyway, that time, 1992, I started 94. Yeah, 94. I'll say, 93. They started to give me an opportunity to teach, right? And then, that time I was just helping the classes and things like that. And I met this guy named Ricardo Ribas, which is a designer. He used to do silk printing, in Brazil. And then he came up to me, hey, I can do your logo. I said, what is that? Look at how naive I was. I said, what is that? A logo, the same logo that Nova Geração have, the baby with the diapers with the black belt. So I can make one for you. And I said, yeah, sure, why not? So he make a logo. And like I said, guys, that time we were so amateurs. We didn't know about logo, branding. I didn't know none of that, right? So after reading a lot of books, and then I started to navigate on that. But guess what? He asked me, what's your favorite design? And I said, dude, if I don't have a logo, if I don't know what a logo is, can you imagine a design? I don't know what the crap is that. So, well, you picture something that you want to be associated with your name. So we're talking about 1993. He's already teaching me to marketing myself without I even notice. Then I used to watch the Mystery Machine. Remember Mystery Machine, Shaggy, Scooby-Doo?
Oh, yeah, Scooby-Doo.
And then at that time, all the logos from the main gyms was like sharks with the black belts and
gorillas.
the Frankenstein with the black belt, you know what I mean? Lions. And I didn't like that, you know, because I was coming from a logo that has a baby. So I want to keep it that lineage. I want to keep it that philosophy, because both of my professors, they got a black belt on the Carlson Gracie Senior, right? So Carlson has the two bulldogs, but then they decide to make a baby because we were 16, 15 at that time. We're young. So they said, well, you guys going to be the new generation of jiu-jitsu crew here in Leblon, Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. And I said, okay. Then I told him I like ghosts because it's kind of like a childish thing, and then scare people, but doesn't harm people. You know what I mean? And that's something mysteriously.
Yeah.
And then he designed a very draft raw ghost, right? And with my name on it. And I kind of like it, but and then it was a black and white. And then the years passed, and he said, oh, you know what? Time to upgrade your logo. Let's put some color on it so we can make a shirt, a patch, or something, right? So my soccer team in Brazil is Flamengo, which is the color's name.
Yeah.
My professor's a fanatic.
Flamengo, yeah.
Okay, good.
Red
and black. So he's a good person. So red and black was the colors of my team. So I decided to associate the ghost with the red. Sure enough, I read a book that mentioned that yellow and red are the main colors, and that's why you guys have the yellow on the logo. And I can tell you guys that that was the most attracting coloring. You know, when the people put in the eyes, it's yellow or red. Meanwhile, the arch from the famous hamburger company, it's that colors. You know, they have the red and they have the yellow, mix it up. So I didn't know about that. So years passed, the ghost is starting to take a format. And then instead to be Michel Porfirio Pereira, which is my name, I decided to put a ghost squad. And guys, in 2008, when I tried to open the gym, I tried to open with the Nova Geração name, but my partners, they're kind of like, that name is so. And then we went to a big gym name up north. We're trying to open up, but we are too close to another affiliation that you have. And then on that scenario, one of the partners, he told us, no, we want to have a school on that area, because that was more like West Kendall. You know, for people that are familiar with the West Kendall, we're kind of like 35 minutes away from South Beach. I'll say 45 with the Miami traffic.
I grew up on 88 and 107.
Kendall Drive and 107. That's right. You're right on the heart of a Kendall, bro.
That's where my tax accountant lives.
So long story short, we're trying to associate with this big gym, you know, because I want to be under like at least a lineage of the Carlson Gracie. That's where I come from. That's my bread and that's my breed. That's where I come from, you know. Mm-hmm. And then they did it. They for some reason the deal could not be closed out. So on the way back, me and my friend, which is I told you guys was 5 friends of us that started jiu-jitsu and still in jiu-jitsu this day, 3 of us. One is Alexandre Pulga Pimentel, which is he runs the elite martial arts in the Light Point House. And Kiko, which is in China, he was with me at that time.
Oh, it's Pulga, right?
Pulga.
Huh?
Pulga. He knows our professor. He knows my professor.
They're friends.
He comes to the gym on the weekends.
They train there. They train there too.
Right? Yeah.
Pulga Plata.
You guys Pulga Plata. Now you guys make me jealous now. Don't say that. That breaks my heart. I'm too far away from them. But long story short, Miguel, Milton, Bo, what happened was, since we couldn't close that deal, on the way back, my friend Kiko said, why don't we open Carlson Gracie? Because that year, I was in Carlson Gracie Temecula teaching for Carlson Gracie Jr. That's how the whole association and migration and mingle with Carlson Gracie came up, because I was teaching from junior there in Temecula, and then I got this proposal to open up a school in West Kendall, to come back to Kendall, because I was in Kendall prior. And then Kiko inside of the car said, why don't we open a Carlson Gracie? And then it looks like those 2 guys that are on the car, when they hear Gracie name, they kind of like, ping, and that's about it. And,
can you guess who the other association was? He's under Toko. He trained with Toko.
Yeah.
We know. I think we know who you're talking about.
Yeah,
because that was my school before.
No, well, it's not that one. I know what. I already read your mind. It's not that one. Okay. It's another one.
All right.
Okay. But let's keep the program going so far so good, because it's amazing conversation right now. I don't want to
Yeah.
I don't want to.
No.
Can I answer? How do you say ghost in Portuguese?
Fantasma.
Oh, fantasma. Oh, it's almost like Spanish. Fantasma.
Well, it's Latin, bro. It's Latin.
Yeah.
Come on.
Esquadrão fantasma. Squad, esquadrão.
Squadron.
Fantasma.
Yeah.
And you guys be surprised because when I was putting Carlson Gracie Miami / Ghost Squad BJJ team, was most likely to register my students under the IBJJF. So that way, because Carlson Gracie Jr. is super famous with his association. He has, I don't know, maybe like 120 plus associations all over the world. So for he understand and for he knows who is who under my team, it could take a delay for get authorization for the IBJJF ID cards. Mm-hmm. So I was guided by one of my students that actually was working for IBJJF to say, Professor, why don't you register Ghost Squad affiliated with Carlson Gracie team? So that way it's easy for we track down. So we don't need to send emails and text messages to Junior. We go straight up to you. Bing. That's why I registered Ghost Squad BJJ team. And guess what? Back then at that time, my friend, I got so many backlashes for other places, other gyms. Oh, Ghost Squad, what a tacky name. Oh, this is not going to go nowhere. You know, who's a Ghost Squad? Oh, this just Brazilian. He thinks he's kind of like just because he's Brazilian. You know, that time I was a third degree belt. That time, yes, I was nobody. I was teaching a warehouse in Kendall, but I was happy. You know, I was happy because I was be able to provide my students the care and the knowledge that accumulated over the years, you know? Yeah. And then I guess you probably guys saw a story tells by himself. Then the team is starting to grow. And then we actually, our students fight on the Carlson Gracie team because of that, because Ghost Squad is associated with the Carlson Gracie team. Of course, you know, having the blessing of Carlson Gracie Jr. is magical, you know, because his father, God rest his soul, in 2006 when he passed away, Junior took the responsibility to run the association. And man, takes a toll because I do have mine. I do have a couple of other associates with me. You know, the recently one was Professor John Way with John Way Martial Arts.
John Way.
For me, that was the most asset because he's so knowledgeable. He's so talented. He's so understandable for many things. Very successful. Gym
very
owner,
nice.
5'1", very nice guy. So for me, it's not me that giving something for him. No, he actually gave me something that just added knowledge and understanding, right? So, and be able to organize like association and to make sure everything run properly and correctly, it takes time because everybody, like we talked about 27 minutes ago, everybody has their own mentality. Everybody wants to do certain
really
things.
Specific.
I want to do this. I want to do that way. I want to do this way. That's fine. Hey, listen, if you don't comply with what we have here, you totally good to free on your own. But that's what I don't want. I used to have a student that used to drive to my gym and man, you know how many gyms I passed by to your gym, you know, the traffic, you know, and then I said, dude, if you complain too much to go to my gym, if you have like 3, 4, 5 gyms to come to my gym, why you come here to complain? Just stop in the first gym 5 minutes away from your house and you're going to be happy. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I'm on that point. I am on that point. I want to facilitate people's life, especially if you live in the good terms, you know. Mm-hmm. I want to facilitate as much as you can. I want you happy because if you're happy, I'm happy. But the Ghost Squad came with that idea, you know, a little logo that Ricardo Ribas created in 1993 and then upgrade through the years. Today, I'm probably going to have to put like white beer on the Ghost because it's getting old. Not flying too high anymore.
Ghosts are already old. What are you talking about?
Yeah, Ghost is already
eternal.
Old. Yeah. But I'm just happy, man, because I kind of like banded a lot of people that doubt themselves when I put the name. I kind of like banded a lot of people when they could not understand me. Oh, I'm not going to. And it's funny because a lot of people that not believe on me, they end up migrating to the team, you know, and they end up defending the team for many years ahead. You know what I'm saying?
It winds up becoming about the jiu-jitsu. It's not about the name.
It's
or the
not
logo.
about the name.
It's about the jiu-jitsu and the community that's created in the gym.
I think the first thing in a gym, the first thing in a jiu-jitsu school is the atmosphere, right? You can have an atmosphere to attract knuckleheads. You can have an atmosphere to attract good people because I believe likes attracts likes, right? So if I like certain things and that guy likes too, we're going to be attracted. But if he tends to go for another route, that's okay for him.
Yeah.
You know, I wish him the best. I don't want to him feel that I have any grudges or nothing like that. But I'm gonna respect it because that's your opinion. We do have in the history like many teams that they're a powerhouse and all of a sudden they frackle, they kind of like they crumble, and then they make another team and they got stronger together as happening.
New Wave and the B team right now.
Who?
Like Gordon Ryan, how he separated from his brother, and now
who expected that? Gordon Ryan, it's kind of like
his brother separated.
Who expected that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
now,
but they look happy. They look happy, and they look great.
At the end of the day, you guys want to go home, put your head on the pillow, and say, "Man, I have a hell of a day today." You know what I mean? I'm happy. I'm doing what I love. I don't bother nobody else. Nobody bothers me. And then if they bother you, just change your route. It's kind of like a river, right? You see the river? Yeah. The river goes straight. When I see the rock, what they do? They go around and they keep going on the course, man. There's no problem with that.
That's how I live my life.
Me too, bro. Trust me. Me too.
F that rock, bro. I'm going around.
Let's get into some of our final questions. We do a little bit of like a speed round here at the end.
Thank you to DD214 Fightwear, gear for patriotic rollers. Visit their website, dd214bjj.com, and get 15% off your online order with code JJD. And check them out on Instagram at dd214_Fightwear. Thank you to Feito IT and AV, specializing in commercial and residential automation, security cameras, CCTV, POS, and more. Check them out at feitoitav.com or call 305-428-2515 and let them know the Dummies sent you. Thank you to Neutral Zone CBD, a combat family-owned company that supports athletes and the people who love them. Neutral Zone strives to deliver clean CBD products for sports recovery in gummies, lotions, balms, roll-ons, and more. After a competition, a hard rolling session, or a tough day on the job, Neutral Zone has a product designed to help you reduce inflammation, increase cell rejuvenation, and may even help with aging joints. Visit NeutralZoneCBD.com and get 25% off your order with code JJD. And follow them on Instagram too, at MyNeutralZone. Jiu-Jitsu's favorite monthly subscription box has now joined the Jiu Jitsu Dummies Podcast. The Bjj Box is delivered to your door filled with premium jiu-jitsu and grappling apparel, equipment, supplements, supplies, snacks, and more. The crew at the Bjj Box find the best in the world of jiu-jitsu and guarantee every box to be worth more than the cost. Each box includes 4 to 7 items you're going to love. Visit thebjjbox.com and use code JJD10 to get $10 off your very first box. And give them a follow on Instagram at TheBJJBox. All of us here at the Jiu Jitsu Dummies would like to thank the entire crew over at Flow and Roll for their tremendous support. They're renowned for their incredible t-shirt designs, and they've got something for everyone. Flow and Roll quickly rose up to become the premier custom apparel provider for academies, big or small, throughout the United States. Shoot them an email about your custom order, flowandroll@gmail.com, and they'll be more than happy to get you hooked up. Check them out on Instagram at flow_n_roll for samples of their Ghee and Nogi kits. They conveniently offer flexible payment options too. Head over to flowandroll.com for more details, and while you're there, pick up a Jiu Jitsu Dummies signature tee, now exclusively at flowandroll.com. And remember, you'll get 20% off your online purchase of t-shirts, rash guards, or Ghees with code JJD.
So we're going to ask you about 6 or 7 different questions. All right. You can elaborate if you want. But we're going to go down this list real quick. Yeah. Okay. So what is your preference when you're training? Ghee or no ghee?
Ghee.
Ghee. Takedown or pull guard? What's your favorite?
Takedown.
Okay. Now, we didn't ask earlier, have you compete? Tell us about your competition experience.
Yeah. I was having a pretty steady year before I moved. I be able to achieve second in pans in 2020, I would say, and then I end up fighting my last one, Miami Open, when we did at the Hilton Hotel, and then I ended up hurting my knee pretty bad. Oh. got to a point that I got to see 3 doctors, and they said that I only have one string holding my knee. Surgery is scheduled for the next day. I said, no. So I'm trying to recover from that. I started to train lightly here in Colorado. The altitude helps a lot. Trust me, guys, your lungs become like a fire. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, right now I have to lay low a little bit, the competition aspect. I love compete. I enjoy compete. As a matter of fact, when I go to compete, man, it looks like that's the happiest day of my life, to be honest with you. Because first of all, I'm going to do something that I do every day, right? I hunting, I don't know, because I never hunt. So I could be scared as a cat, right? But competing is something that it makes me feel joy, because I can see my friends. I can put myself like on the line, and I don't have, I mean, to be honest, at this point, man, it's 47 years old, I don't have nothing to prove anymore. I just prove it to my daughter that daddy can do that age. When you reach our son at age that you want to compete, go ahead, do it, baby. Yeah, I'll love to go back again, but I think now is I have to lay low a little bit to take care of business, you know, like make sure the gym run properly, the program is properly. But hopefully I can see you guys in September at the World's Masters. It'll be a lovely, man, to see you guys over there. You know what I mean?
Very good. See if I can make it again.
Do you? I'm gonna almost assume that the answer is going to be no, but let's talk about it. Students and competing. Do you push your students to compete, or is it just kind of whatever their choice? You know, kind of stand back if they ask and they want to do it, they do it, or is it kind of like mandatory, or do you push?
Milton, based on my experience, Milton, Miguel, Bo, like you guys are here on the show, and for everybody that's listened to it, like based on my experience, I don't push, I don't demand, and you can ask you can get your phone after the show and send them a message. Hey, does Buyu ever force you, told you, mandatory you to compete? And I can tell you straight up from the bottom of my heart, I never did that. Since day one, since 2008, when I opened the gym, my gym was never for a competition. Mind you, I was teaching police officers. I was teaching state troopers, firefighters, because the region, the demographics that I have, I specifically chose the demographic because I want to target people that I kind of like wants to do jiu-jitsu for pleasant, wants to do jiu-jitsu for well-being, mental health, that time already thinking, because, man, those guys have a stressful jobs, right? So they be on the road protecting service, you know what I'm saying? So I was on that route. The competition aspect came once one student and 2 students started to compete, and then it migrate to the group that actually want to. Yes.
Yeah.
To this day, nobody's obligated to compete from the Ghost Squad team, but whoever will, they're going to have the proper training. That's for sure. Gotcha. Start with the takedown, because that's 2 points. Don't put your butt on the ground. Yeah, 2 points. 2 points.
Do you? I think you might have mentioned this before, but do you watch a lot of jiu-jitsu when you're not on the mats? Are you the guy that's watching every flow and roll on a Friday? Are you watching UFCs or studying tape? Is that the kind of person that you are? Yeah. Are you a fan outside of teaching?
Man, I'm not gonna lie. I'm besides an educator. I don't think I can even consider myself a professor, because that's a high standard for a guy that has a college degree, master's degree, bachelor's degree. I consider myself an educator, right? So if I can educate my students to be a better person on the mats in all general aspects, respectfully, technically, mental prepare for the outside world, that's what I have to do. Go over videos and tapes, and my students constantly send me, and I just want to say this on the air, guys. I apologize if I didn't catch up you guys this whole week, because Papa Buyu, he's very busy with the gym, but usually I get on the weekends when I have a little bit of spare time, I go over moves, I go over tournaments, I go over competitions. If it's live and I'm not there, yes, I'm 100% watching every single match of every single my student. I text them directly, WhatsApp, text message, whatever the web that they have in their hands, to explain it to them. Hey, you won this match, but be careful with your left side, because you're passing with your hips too high. The guy's going to replace the guard. He might be don't thinking about it because he just won, right? But I'm on the other side of the world and watching what is next for the next fight. The guy that he just fought, he lost, but the guy that fought before him is watching his match. So he better be watch out because he might be going to make that mistake and the guy's going to catch you. Oh, I know he doesn't like takedown. He pull guard. I go straight to the shot. You know what I'm saying? So yes, I do watch videos. I do watch DMs that they send it to me through the other platform. I go over, I explain it to them. Some of them it's kind of like sketchy because they usually send the guys meet 45s. They barely can put the foot like all the way to the head. They kind of like send me the videos and then they kind of like, can I do this, Professor? I say, try to work in your stretching first, and then you're gonna be able to do like a gummy choke. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, take it easy. You're not a Rotolo brothers yet. You know what I'm saying?
Shit, those guys are flexible.
So I had a question and it just flew out of my mind.
Sorry, man. I get inside of your brain. I get inside of your brain.
No. So what we were saying.
He's a ghost.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I had like a follow up to something that you had said, and now it escaped me. But
you were asking about like first you were asking about the ghost, then you were asking about the Ghee, then you were asking about like no.
I know where I am question wise, but you had said something, and I was going to expand on that. It escapes me now, but I'll remember. But so you do watch your students. Do you watch the flow grapplings and things like that too?
For fun.
Yeah, I just don't want to mention the name because I don't know if it's going to interfere a few guys, but
no.
Yeah, I do watch like if is that okay? I can say the other.
Okay. No worries.
Because I mean, not the world that we live nowadays. I don't know how everybody
we can bleep it out if we don't like it.
Yeah. All right, good. All right.
We don't.
I like that. I like that. Just don't flip it out what I said, please.
No, we wouldn't. We wouldn't.
Here. Well, I do watch the fight to wins. I do watch the flow grappling. I even catch myself watching wrestling tournaments, man. Like, cause some of the things like can be very useful, for jiu-jitsu. But my vision of the sport, it is like this, right? If you can start with 2 points and mentally defeat your opponent because now he needs to rush, why are you gonna pull guard? Oh, because I like it. Okay. That's fine. But if the guy is a little quicker than you and touch your leg and you go on the butt on the ground, don't complain about it because then you can get a penalty, right? So yes, I do watch those things. And always I'm aware that every 6 months IBJJF changing the rules because I want to make sure, give it the fastest updates to my students. One question that pop up like, oh, Professor, can I choke with my belt? I say, yeah, you could choke with your belt.
I saw that the other day. I didn't even know you could do that.
Because
the assassin choke. The assassin choke. And yes, you can do it as long as your belt is still attached to you.
Yes, as long as your belt's attached. Oh, I didn't know that. You never asked.
Yeah.
If you ever ask. Now,
you use their belt?
No.
You can use your own belt to choke as long as it's still on?
As long as it's attached to your body. Now you understand when the people comes to the belt at the gym, which is like 2 inches. Now you understand why it has to be 8 inches because of that. So you see those guys that buy a very tiny belt so they can be easy for they untangle and they let it loose. Now they're not going to do that anymore.
Oh, so you're saying it's got to be longer at the end.
Yeah, now you got guys showing up. They wear an A2, but they'll wear an A4 belt because they want to take your back. And then they want to do the assassin choke on you.
I saw the video
it's just
the other day.
Dude, the buggy choke.
So I saw the video the other day for the first time. I saw the first competition footage of somebody choking
the assassin choke. Yeah.
And I was
like, you can do that?
Yeah.
Well, you could never come up.
But listen, maybe because what Miguel said in the past, like I'm doing this game, I'm playing on the bottom, but I'm kind of like I need to have something that I can be making my opponent aware that if he comes next to me, I have something for him. Mm-hmm. So now you can have something for him with your own belt. Even if the guy on a side control, you can still choke him with the belt. People don't know that. They think just like on your north-south or maybe like on your crucifix. No, even if the guy is in your side control, there's a way that you can choke with your own belt.
Baseball choke.
It's kind of like almost like that,
I see that being helpful.
Mute already thinking. Oh.
I like the north-south. I like to be north-south a lot, so that belt is right near their head.
Yes, sir.
Depending on where I drop.
There you go.
We got some lapel
Don't be surprised if the guy pass out on top of you like.
We got a lot of lapel pullers in my school. So as soon as they touch you, they're yanking your gi out of your belt immediately.
When somebody does that to me, I just I let them do it. I say, take ahead. Let's get this done.
Yeah, I don't weigh as much as you do.
Yeah, just step on the hand. Don't you ever do that again. No.
So, Professor, do you have a favorite competitor? Is there somebody that you really like to watch that you try not to miss their matches?
For sure. For sure, Mika Galvão is bringing my attention because he's young. He's on his prime. Tainá Dalprá, he also very impressive.
Man, I love AOJ's producing.
When Felipe Pena competes, I can see the versatility of. I can tell that his game is very involved. Who else? Ronaldo Jr. I like the way that I like his style. Reminds me Tererê. Fernando Tererê reminds me a lot, like the way that he started his fights. Pedro Diaz. Pedro Diaz is one of the black belts that now with Carlson Gracie Jr., which is I have a pleasure to start off with him in Santa Marta in one of the slums in Brazil. So I like to watch him a lot too. I think as far as whoever has a game that's very wide open, I admire a lot. I don't like people that actually stalling too much. Like I said, when I started jiu-jitsu, there are only 5 moves and I can barely learn 2. So today you guys have a freaking encyclopedia of jiu-jitsu. You guys can probably be the whole day on the internet and learn the whole book of jiu-jitsu, but nothing gonna replace watching a really good match that 2 guys. I'll say as far as black belts, those are the ones that guys that I try to watch it and I try to pick a couple of things that they do when they fighting. You know what I mean?
Have you seen just recently how Nicholas Marigali has really opened his game up?
I think one of the things that he realized when he migrated to the Dream Art team, I think Isaac Baense probably told him, this is me saying, right? I'm trying to Twilight Zone right now and be on that room with both of those guys. If you keep doing the same things that you did it before, people are gonna telegraph your game. So you need to be more opening. You need to risk a little bit more. And I think watching Leandro Lo too, it's a very exciting.
Love that guy.
I'm pretty sure this last Worlds something must be happening with his ribs that he couldn't perform it the way that he wants to, but gracefully he was be able to win the absolute. You know what I mean? So I think that's something that came up gracefully for him. Marigali really, it's another one that watching him fighting, and I think now that he migrates to Texas, to be able to understanding more the Nogi game.
Yeah,
I think he's gonna cause some furor next year for sure. I won't say this year yet, but next year that's definitely.
He looked really good. He's still his collar sleeve is like nobody else's, but he has just opened up really.
Yeah, and I think because of his length of his arm, he's so long. He applied really well the loop choke we call rodado. So he applied really good that, and people get by surprise. People, if they don't keep an eye on it, especially if you like to pass with a lot of pressure with your head down, you're gonna go 9-9 really quick. You're gonna go 9-9 really quick.
You got that guy in the absolute division real quick in the guard, and he goes to the left side too. So it's you don't even think about it.
You see, because he gave it to him on the side. It's kind of like a bait. So that's one of the look. When we started the podcast, on the minute 8 or minute 12, was something related with the armbar that I told you guys. You can't telegraph that you're going for the armbar because the guy's gonna do what? He's gonna retract the arm. But if you have something to fishing to baiting him, and then he can give it the arm easily, that's pretty much like what the loop choke does, or a baseball choke does, or even like the assassin choke does. You think you are good in a position on your side, but last thing that you know, you have your neck all tangled up. You know what I mean?
I gotcha.
All right, so I have our next question.
Go ahead, Milton.
What is your ultimate goal in the world of jiu-jitsu? Where do you see yourself in 20 or 30 years?
Man, that's a really difficult question. I just want to have longevity. I just want to have days ahead that I can be able to provide to my students, to the people that approach, to the people that want to talk about everything, talking about books, talking about, podcasts, talking about what podcast should I listen to it? You know what I mean? Like, what book should I read into it? You know what I mean? So, and then just be on the mats and training. You know, if God willing, I can do that as the day that I could not be walking on the mats. That's going to be, I think, one of my saddest day, you know. Well, of course, besides your kids go to college, that's the saddest day ever. You know what I mean? But not be able to be on the mats and, you know, play jiu-jitsu. You know, I'm not saying fighting anymore. I say play jiu-jitsu. I think that's going to be my goal. You know, if that's how I see myself in the next 10, 15, 20 years, if it's possible.
Okay.
That's good. Oh, this is
last question.
This is a very important question.
Mm-hmm.
I'll let you take a sip.
Go ahead.
Do you or do you not wash your jiu-jitsu belt?
Ooh, what an important question. You know what? Once a week, I do wash it because you know what? I have at least like I don't know. I have probably like eight black belts. So I always have one on a spare, you know, and my mom always take the belt and she wash it. And sometimes she doesn't tell me, but I know when the belt shrink a little bit and then I put that on the side.
Yeah.
And,
Is that what happened?
I was able to do that choke last week.
But you know what? I didn't expect that, but as the age that I'm at, I'm fortunate to have a sponsor that actually send me gifts, and they usually send me an extra belt too.
Okay.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Shout those sponsors out.
Yeah, so let's give you a minute. Go ahead and say hello to anybody you want to say hello to, or
where's that
shout
list?
out any sponsors. Pull that list out, right?
Pull that list
I can't. Well, I'm gonna try and make it short. I cannot think enough. Of course, starting from the top, the Gracie family, because I mean, without them, man, trust me. Listen, I know there's some things happening that in the outside world that people say American Jiu-Jitsu and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, you know, like I get that, I understand that, I respected that, but we can dilute the art, we can dilute the technique, we can dilute the authenticity of who brought this sport to the surface of Brazil, coming from Belém do Pará, and migrate to Rio and teaching Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu to 6 brothers and be able to the brothers develop like many fighters, many competitors, you know. We coming from an era that the mats are made by like the stick rice, and the cover of the mats were made by the pants that you guys wearing today. We only have like 3 brands of Ghee back then. We can't thank enough to the Gracie family. Of course, like I have to go to my side, the lineage of Carlson Gracie, and then Token Rodrigo, that be able to show jiu-jitsu to me. And then today I live, I breathe, I talk, I see, I act jiu-jitsu all the time in my house, outside of my house. And without that, I won't be able to provide to my family. And most of all, I won't be able to provide to my son. Something that for me, if it was not because of jiu-jitsu, I will say this in the open air right now, I could be literally a drug dealer, because I have many opportunities to go to the wrong side of the life, because the neighborhood that I was living, everything was so easier because it was an upscale neighborhood. And we had people that actually were coming from the favelas selling drugs and things like that. And you get like mesmerized when somebody comes to you and say, hey, I'll give you $300 if you deliver this package through 2 doors down, because I can go down to the slums, because if I go, I get shot. You know what I mean? So I'm thankful for jiu-jitsu. I'm thankful for Token Rodrigo and all the masters, all the professors that gave me an opportunity. I cannot thank enough to Ricardo Liborio, because the time that Ricardo Liborio was at the Pride with Minotauro and Minotouro, he made a vote on his gym, and the students actually picked up on me to be the guide leader of his students in Barra da Tijuca in Brazil. Thank you to Ricardo Liborio for that. Thank you for Rogério Lelo. It's a black belt from Carlson Gracie in Brazil. He teaches in a Carlson Gracie Nova Iguaçu. We are very good friends. He used to come to the gym in the morning when I was a blue belt, didn't know about jiu-jitsu. He used to show me a couple of extra moves. You know, Maneco, it's another Carlson Gracie black belt. You know, Lucinho Claudio, which is open opportunity for, we have jiu-jitsu in their gym. Unfortunately, they don't have the gym anymore in Brazil. But besides them, you know, Marcelo Chupeta, which is like a guy that sponsored me through Toco, because he put me on the team of the clothing line. And nowadays, I'm very grateful to have Atama, which is a very 100% original company from Brazil. send me the Ghees and uniforms and things like that. I'm very grateful for them. And I cannot thank enough to my students, man, because without them, there's no Buiu, there's no Ghost Squad, there's no existence of myself whatsoever in the surface of this planet. So thank you to every single one. I'll be 3 podcasts here, probably naming every single one. But I really want to say thank you to my main guy right now, my CEO right now, Jose Pita, my black belt that he's running. He's a black belt first degree. He's running my gym in Miami when I'm here in Colorado in this endeavor. So shout out to him. Thank you so much for him to be holding alongside with Jacobo Paçoquinha, which is my brown belt. Paçoquinha is the peanut butter that you buy in a Brazilian store. If you go to the Brazilian store, say, I want a bag of paçoca because Buiu told me to get a paçoca here. It's a peanut butter. Yeah, you can put it in your shakes. It's pretty good. So when he moved it to my gym, it looks like a little paçoca. So that's why I give a nickname. So those 2 guys, man, they hold really good the fort. And then everyone that actually there in the mornings and the afternoons, because without them, this is not going to be possible. This project is not going to be possible. So, and I hopefully to help more people, man, whoever coming across, help him out with jiu-jitsu in a good word.
I remember my question, and you said it a bunch of times. Where did your nickname come from? You keep on saying Buiu. Yeah. That's your Instagram handle. Right. That's your nickname. Tell us where that came from. Yeah.
And you got to see it. I got to tell this. I used to be a DJ, right? So I'll tell a little about this. So Buiu, I was in Leblon going to the beach. My dad used to be a doorman in a building, right? So first time I went to the beach and then I see this tall guy coming across the street and he pointed at me and he said, that's Buiu. He looks like Buiu. His face is like Buiu. And I kind of like, what this guy's saying, man? I don't know this guy, kind of like throwing nicknames on me. He has another friend with him. Now I was going to the beach. I surfed. That night when I came home, I tried Buiu. Who's Buiu? So my dad used to watch a show, still nowadays, the show called A Praça Nossa, which is like a kind of like a similarity with the Saturday Night Live show.
Okay. It's like a funny show.
It's a funny show, but they make funny of they make jokes about the politicians in Brazil. Yeah. They make funny about how
it's topical.
So defeated, everything about Brazil, they make funny on the show, right? Yeah. So Carlos Alberto de Nóbrega, which is the host, he sits on the bench. We read the newspaper. One day he was driving around and then he saw this kid selling candies at the light. So he came up to him and he said, hey, do you have a job? And he said, no, that's my job. I sell candies to support. I think that time Buiu has 7 brothers or 13 brothers, something like that. He's like a poor kid living on the street. But I didn't have the hair like that. You know what I mean? My hair was short. And then it was like the first encounter that, man, this guy just nicknamed me a character of the show because Carlos Alberto de Nóbrega ended up hiring Buiu to, on the end of the show, give it a speech to what the politicians should do, what the government should do to don't have many kids at the light selling candies or jiggling the balls and stuff like that. So then last thing that you know, when Toco Rodrigo opened a school, they already have my nickname already as Buiu, right? Years pass, friends came up to me, hey, can I ask you a tough question? I say, yeah. Is your name Buiu for real? I said, dude, really? Do you think my mom is going to name me Buiu? No, bro, my name is Michel. No, because everybody call you Buiu everywhere. So I think your name was Buiu. So it becomes like a muscle memory type of thing. Then in 2001, a friend of mine, he used to train with us, Christian. He used to, and now he owns a Muay Thai club in Barra da Tijuca in Brazil with his brother. So he was a host in a nightclub, and his partner was Bruno, which is his brother, very famous singer from Raimundos, a rock band in Brazil. They started to have these parties every Thursday, hip hop, and we're talking about 2000 and 2001. Hip hop in Brazil was a booming, right? And then one of my friends became really good friends. He actually sponsored me afterwards. He has a company called Thug 9. He was DJ the whole night, but gets around 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning. He said, I don't want to do that anymore because it's too tiring. So I said, Christian, would you mind if I go starting to DJ? I said, do you know how to DJ? I said, well, I have a okay taste for music and I know he play hip hop and that's something that I like it. I said, I can try, bro. I didn't have no turntables, no players. I started to go in a store in Panama called Viper. and burning CDs, renting CDs and burning CDs and music and underground hip hop and mainstream hip hop. And I started to take it. So long story short, I started to be a guest after 3 o'clock in the morning when the dance floor was down. Then I build up. Last thing that you know, I won't stop playing until 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. They got to a point that the bodyguards used to tell the owner, hey, can you tell this guy to stop because we need to go home? Because the club in Brazil opens at 11, but the dance floor doesn't get heat up until 1, 2 o'clock in the morning because Brazilians like to party. I don't know if you guys know that.
We know.
That's like
And
Miami.
Sort of it. And then I started DJ everywhere, man. I did raves, I did private parties. And at that time, people would say, oh, we got to get an artistic name. I said, what? No, bro, just put Buio. I said, no, bro, Buio is too much like jiu-jitsu because you come from jiu-jitsu. Man, what are the best things? Look at me, that time, not even no marketing. I already marketed myself. I said, dude, if the people from jiu-jitsu like hip-hop, and go to the club and my name is associated, guess what? They're going to come.
That's a new crowd.
Yeah.
That's the crowd. As a matter of fact, the Saulo Ribeiro, I'm never going to forget that. He likes the music from Tupac called Thug Mansion. And Jorge Brito, too, a good friend of mine that's in Canada. Both of them, they like Thug Mansion. Bro, every time I play that music, those guys go crazy. So was a good time. I make a lot of good friends. When I left Brazil in 2005, I stopped in DJ. I DJ in Miami at the club called, not a club, a restaurant, a hotel actually called the Setai in Ocean Beach. So I did a couple of times. It was more like a lounge. I was trying to throw in some Brazilian beats, bossa nova type of thing. But then what happened was like, there has a French guy I think he was the main guy from the kitchen. Every time I was to play like some bossa nova, he didn't like it for some reason. So he used to come and yell at me, oh, you got to take this. And I look at him, little French guy. I said, man, I can make you a croissant in 5 seconds, dude. But I'm not. Okay, I'll put the volume down, But then that was about it. Then when I opened the gym, I have to really stop and DJ because it was a big drive for me. And I was teaching morning classes and to be there, do the dual job over there was a little difficult.
Yeah.
But now you have it. Now you know.
Thank you. Well,
DJ Buio.
Yeah.
DJ Buio, yeah. Well, I'll make a mixtape for you guys when I have it.
Do it. I'll take the old school hip hop.
Thank you so much. Like I said, stick around. We're gonna take some pictures with you. But thank you so much for coming on. Next time you're back in Miami, let us know. Give us some advance notice. Maybe in a couple of months when you're going to be here. Let us know, and we'll have you come in.
That's right.
Thank you, sir.
Get some rolls in.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody.
Professor.
Thank you to Neutral Zone CBD, a combat family-owned company that supports athletes and the people who love them. Neutral Zone strives to deliver clean CBD products for sports recovery in gummies, lotions, balms, roll-ons, and more. After a competition, a hard rolling session, or a tough day on the job, Neutral Zone has a product designed to help you reduce inflammation, increase cell rejuvenation, and may even help with aging joints. Visit neutralzonecbd.com and get 25% off your order with code JJD. And follow them on Instagram too, at MyNeutralZone. Jiu-Jitsu's favorite monthly subscription box has now joined the Jiu Jitsu Dummies Podcast. The Bjj Box is delivered to your door filled with premium jiu-jitsu and grappling apparel, equipment, supplements, supplies, snacks, and more. The crew at the Bjj Box find the best in the world of jiu-jitsu and guarantee every box to be worth more than the cost. Each box includes 4 to 7 items you're going to love. Visit thebjjbox.com and use code JJD10 to get $10 off your very first box. And give them a follow on Instagram at thebjjbox. All of us here at the Jiu Jitsu Dummies would like to thank the entire crew over at Flow and Roll for their tremendous support. They're renowned for their incredible t-shirt designs, and they've got something for everyone. Flow and Roll quickly rose up to become the premier custom apparel provider for academies, big or small, throughout the United States. Shoot them an email about your custom order, flowandroll@gmail.com, and they'll be more than happy to get you hooked up. Check them out on Instagram at flow_n_roll for samples of their Ghee and Nogi kits. They conveniently offer flexible payment options too. Head over to flowandroll.com for more details, and while you're there, pick up a Jiu Jitsu Dummies signature tee, now exclusively at flowandroll.com. And remember, you'll get 20% off your online purchase of t-shirts, rash guards, or Ghees with code JJD.
All right, everybody. Very cool. Fun guest.
DJ.
Lots of stories.
You.
We probably could have gone for hours.
Yeah.
We definitely got to have him
Well,
back
he's
in.
going to come down here.
Yeah, we definitely got to have
It's
him
going to
back
be
on.
dope.
Yeah, he would be really fun in-house.
Yeah.
A lot of energy. Man. Great
like,
energy on him.
Yeah, definitely. Like he would be a great part of a roundtable.
And then considering what he's
people.
going through and stuff, he has such a positive vibe considering, all
Absolutely.
things considered.
So we're going to jump right out. Thank you, everybody, for watching and listening.
Was that COVID?
No, we're gonna jump out. That was a long one, so we're gonna jump out.
Oh yeah. Thank you, everybody.
I'm at Jiu-Jitsu Dummies and Uncle Milty BJJ on Instagram.
Yeah.
Did I use the ats? I didn't use the ats.
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Do what you want.
Check out at Jiu-Jitsu Dummies on Instagram for all the ways to watch, listen, and support. Thank you for coming out, Miguel.
Thank you very much. Oh yeah, JJD_DJJ69. That's where you can find me.
Bo, you want to give me your IG?
At BADWERKS.
Bad works.
All right. Thank you to our sponsors. Thank you to everybody for watching and listening.
Thank you to the Gracies.
Ep.84, right? This is kind of awesome.
That was a cool one.
Yeah.
Who do you want to thank?
Yeah.
Thank you, Gracie.
Yeah.
All the Gracies.
Well, thank you for watching and listening, everybody.
See you next week.
All right.
Jiu-jitsu.
Peace.
Peace.